Hello and welcome back to the Haunted Hub's latest paranormal investigation. This week's location is the Framework Knitters Museum, Wigston, Leicestershire in England. We've heard reports of the supposed paranormal activity in the building. The building is from the exact same condition as when the day the previous owners left it many years ago. The property relies solely upon donations and is run by a group of volunteers who maintain and take care of this fantastic, unique building, preserving history without compromising the original structure. Will the claims of the paranormal activity be real, or is this just a figment of people's imagination? Let's pass you over to tonight's team. The team members tonight will be Stu, Stu Boy and Tony, and let's see what we can discover in this unique place. And please, don't forget, if you're a regular viewer of our videos or new to the Haunted Hub channel, please press the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notifications bell. This way you'll be notified every time we release some new footage. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter, Facebook and Instagram account. Just search The Haunted Hub. Enjoy the video.
Okay, we're at the Knitwear Museum in Wigston. Just arrived, just had a quick walk round, picked up a couple of spirits, for the want of a better word, but we're just about to start looking into the knitwear machinery part. I've just connected with some people in here, but come on through and I'll explain what I've got. Immediately when I came in, there was a guy here. He's probably about 34, 33, 34, and he's dressed in a dirty white shirt with a Victorian waistcoat, well, a Victorian outfit, but with a waistcoat. He's got a bowler hat on, and he's the foreman here. And I got the name Sam or Samuel, so I don't know. He's in here, very nice guy actually, and his wife works in here as well, but I'm not so sure that they didn't live here as like that they were the operators here. And there's a little boy in the very, was it in the top room? Yeah, in the very top room, and he's in bed and he's dying. I got the name Tom or Thomas, and her name was I think either Mary or Anne, a little bit more. It's an amazing place. I mean, the smell hits you when you come in, that engineering smell, but it's a really, really very interesting place. It's full of history. I'm just going to tell you what I'm picking up. It's quite random some of the time, but I'm picking up that she's really worried about her father, who's really, really ill at the moment. So she's really worried about him. And he's not that old actually. She's probably about 23. He's only probably about 46 or something. And he's got something wrong with his lungs. And which is interesting. And his name is Cecil. And I got the name Parker that came through. I don't know whether we can verify that later. What's this guy's name? Very nice young lad. Didn't get on with his work very much, that I'm actually feeling here. He was always messing around and pulling pranks on everybody. William, his name is William, and he's the typical little sort of Victorian rascal with the flat cap, very Oliver Twist type character. I just got they actually originate from Ashby, which is miles away. That's what he's saying anyway, but obviously they live local now. But see who else is coming into here.
And we've also had somebody that said she was a white witch, and they don't know each other. And they both turn around and says there's a little boy that's following them round.
Right. And that's in the building over there?
And in here.
And it's the same child?
Presumably, yeah.
So, we think obviously he's probably got mangled up in one of these machines.
It may have been an accident.
Yeah, yeah.
There is where he's died. We've had in the back bedroom, the children's room, we've come in to find marbles all over the floor.
Now, was that the bedroom with the doll in the bed?
Yes.
Yeah, I just come out there, says to her, says, I've got a right shiver up the spine and in that particular room.
Yeah, we've had marbles on the floor. And then the front bedroom where we have the mannequin in black, I'd actually dressed that mannequin and I'd put another black top on which didn't meet at the front. Because it didn't meet, I put a black scarf around it, sort of around the neck, so it covered the gap. I locked up that night and I opened up the following time, and when I came in, the scarf had been moved. One side was over one shoulder and one side was over the other shoulder. And I know I was the last one in and the first one to come in.
Scary, yeah. So we're thinking, is it just the one spirit here then, do we think? This child?
I don't know. This child has come up 2 or 3 times from different sources.
Mm-hmm.
They have actually given him a name. Whether that is his name, but somebody else has told us that there's potentially children buried in the garden.
Right.
Which, back in Victorian times, isn't sort of out of the ordinary.
So basically they came and then they just like swept them under the carpet almost,
if
if they got injured or,
or they died shortly after death. They couldn't be baptised, they couldn't go in consecrated ground.
Well, when the people were working, it was a bit like a workhouse as well. Was there a bit of accommodation here for No.
It was purely a factory where people would come here. They potentially work 12 hours a day and then go home. Have you been upstairs?
I've just had a little peek up there.
That's where the Griswold ladies used to work. They used to knit socks upstairs. But these frames are early to mid 1700s. That's the only one there that isn't original to the building. And that one is a work.
So these are all original then? And this is how it would have been set up like this, basically. Crikey. And what were they making on these machines?
They were knitting stockings.
Right.
The end one, which was the last one in use, that's set up to knit fingers for gloves. Yeah.
Several people come up with the same name.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Bobby.
Right, okay then. We'll see then.
So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Tony and Stu can pick up.
But I'm the archivist here, so I tend to dig into the history and say, well, I can find that or I can't find that. Somebody had actually mentioned twins as well in the back bedroom. And I went digging and I did find twins that lived. They may have been in that back bedroom, but there were twins that lived here. One of them died at the age of 2.
So that bit was sort of used as somebody's house?
Yeah, they lived there. That house was lived in.
And that was that like the people who owned this?
Yeah, that owned the factory.
Factory, right. So
the last occupant lived there in 1986.
Crikey.
When she died. And that's when we managed to preserve it as a museum. When the master hosier died in 1952, this workshop was locked up and left. So until it was a museum,
crikey,
nobody had been in it since 1952.
The lockdown of May 2020, for some weeks I was the only person coming in here, and I used to enter through the back door here, which is alarmed, so that is the entrance to the museum. And having taken the alarm off and entered and gone round to check the place, we go upstairs to the front bedroom, which is the child's room, and on the corner is a tray of marbles in quite an old container made of wood. And frequently I would come in and find those marbles, most of them had literally been taken out of the container and strewn across the floor. So obviously for safety reasons, risk of falling, I'd gather them up, put them back, check the building, come back down, set the alarm and lock the door. A few days later, I'd come in again as the only person, go upstairs, and there again, the marbles had been taken out, some of them, and strewn across the floor. So at the end result, to make sure nobody was trying to kid me, I put certain little devices on the doors to make sure nobody else was coming in, and also check the alarm to see who else was coming in, and there wasn't. And obviously that happens occasionally, not very often, and it's not like somebody could kick the tray because it's right in the corner against the skirting board.
Oh, I've just come out of there, and these very kind people are the people who run the place, yeah?
Yes.
And there's a guy I connected with called Samuel, and he's like the foreman, or he lives here or something with his wife, and there's a little boy in the corner that just sleeps in there because his wife was never there, and he's got a bowler hat on and like a Victorian white dirty shirt with a waistcoat, and he's a nice guy just walking around. Does that ring any bells to you then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does he? Okay. So he's very prominent in there. There's another, I was just talking to one of the girls on the machine as well. It was named something, there was a few actually. I got like I don't know whether her name was Beatrice or Carol or something like that. But there's a few in there, some characters in there. But the little boy I was concentrating on, I thought he was a bit older than he told us he was. He said he's 7, but actually I thought he was probably about 13 or 14. But he's just told us he's 7 on the recorder. But does that ring a bell with you, any of that then?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
There's a little boy called
William, I got his name, it was Billy. This little boy.
Bobby.
Pardon?
Bobby is a name we've been given.
Bobby.
Yeah.
I got
Billy.
I got the name William, and they call him Billy.
Right, okay.
That's what I got. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's what I got. A little boy called Billy. Very nice lad. He used to crawl around under the machines as well and collect all the rubbish or something as well. And but I see it in like a winter time, you know, because they've got the fire going. And but there's some characters in there. I'm going to go back in when it's settled down a little bit more and find out a little bit more. They do tend to sort of move around, but the guy, Samuel, he walked straight in. He stood next to me. He did, and he was quite a sort of quite a nice guy actually. He was the one who looked after everything and made sure it was all ticking and going on. And
like a gaffer then?
yeah, like a gaffer. But I'm not sure. His wife is either called Annie or Mary or something like that. And they had a little boy in the top room who died. Okay. So if you go right to the top room, he's in bed and she's over him and she's dressed in like black. He's died there. And his name, I think, when I was up there, what did I think his name was? Something like Tommy or Tom, something like that. I'd have to go back up because I was just doing a good, but yes, so she's over him and he's dying, if he's not already dead. You know.
And it's fair to confirm that you've not spoke with any other group that may have done a similar thing in this museum?
No.
Okay.
We even had to,
that's okay.
no. But even before that, this guy walked straight in.
Do you see an image?
Yeah.
And is it a clear image, or is there a cloud on it, or is it?
It's fairly clear. It's a bit transparency, but he's like, you know, when you think, oh yeah, I remember my grandma, what she used to look like. It's that information. But it sounds like
in a few minutes.
Yeah, just walking in there in a few minutes.
You've hit the nail on the head in so many points.
Yes, you have.
That's amazing.
Yes, you have. Yeah. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Right, so
This is all original.
yeah, no, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It's not. This is how it was.
Oh, someone just touching me here. Like
Is there a bit of a cobweb?
must be. I'm gonna see if I can get this woman's name here. She's making the fire up here, so. What's your name?
Getting pressure behind my eyes. Just every time I walk in this little bit here,
Yeah.
like behind, like a sinus feeling, headache, straight away. Let me get the rods out, see if there's anything there. Right, is there something near this door? An energy? Can you cross these? Can you cross these things over? These rods on my hand. If there's an energy here. There you are. Now straighten them back up again if you can. You just feel more female.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just the building in general. It doesn't feel male so much.
No, it don't. It feels very female. She sits in one of the corners, one of these corners here. And by the look of it, there's a door there, so I would have presumed that she's going to be sitting in this corner here. Then we go across here, and she falls asleep at night. Sometimes can't even be bothered to go upstairs because she's old. And I'm sure her name's Agnes. I'm pretty sure her name's Agnes. She's in her 80s. She's got a bonnet on. You know the white bonnet with the thing?
Yeah.
And she stays here, and she has a rug on her and that. And I tell you what I've just picked up as well as a dog in here. There's like a little terrier, like a Jack Russell type dog.
I was just thinking,
you know, it's a little male dog. The end of her life, because she obviously just died. I think, as far as I'm aware of, just old age. I think she just expired, and but for some reason, all I've got her is on her own here. Even though there was other family around, but I just something's telling me just to focus on her here. And like I say, I got the surname Berry for some reason, and I think she's been here a long time. Husband's gone, well gone. I'm just picking up something now. This is the same woman. I'm sure it's the same woman upstairs who, when she was younger, lost her child up in that top room.
Yeah. I
think it's the same woman now, and she's really old. And that little boy up there, called Thomas, I think I mentioned that earlier, Thomas, is not very old, only young. But I think he got something like TB or something. And this is her, like, would have been 50, probably 50 years later.
Getting heavy feeling.
There's a guy just walked in.
Suddenly I just got that heavy feeling.
Yeah. A guy's just walked in, a young guy, quite a smart guy with a smartly dressed. It's his mum, and he's just come in the morning and found her dead.
Oh, I've just gone cold here.
There's a little voice here. That's good. Just play that down the because that's quiet.
Did you die just here?
I just did, or
something like that.
I died.
Yes, I did. Awesome.
Okay, yeah, that's really good.
Here is where the woman is kneeling down, and the little boy's in bed here, and she's sobbing over him. He died here, and so see if we can get something up here. The energy when I came in, it's not as strong as it was.
No, it's not. This is where I thought there was probably
Someone took their life.
Yeah. Don't feel it so much now.
No.
But when I first came in earlier on, I was like, oh.
Just see if I can get an idea of what was in the room here. nobody actually that I could see. This was a storage room for a long time, and it could have been because nobody wanted to stay here. Could have been. Is that 27 or something?
7. 27.
Or at least 7, something like that. Okay, what I'd like to do is I'd like to focus down on one person for the moment. Is that you making that breathing noise?
Yeah.
One person for the minute. I want the strongest spirit to come forward and to communicate with us. Okay, so first of all, I'd like you to give us your name, please. What's your name? The guy's just gone up the stairs, Stu boy, and he's going, "You want my name, do you?" He's an Irish guy. He's just come up the stairs. Little scruffy Irish guy. Obviously probably one of the knitters or something to do with delivering something. It could be coal or he might even be a lodger here. He might even be a lodger here. That's him.
Yeah. I just had like a tickling down there. This is Henry.
What's your name?
Could be.
Could be. Are you from Ireland, Henry?
Did the child die in the room in the bed? Well, was there a child that died? I'd love one of them drawers to fly open. Oh, wouldn't it be good? Can you open one of them drawers on that bedside cabinet? Slide the drawer open. Go on, who died in here? What year is it? So I'll give us something really good. A name? A voice? Did you work in the Knitters Museum? Did you work in the Knitters factory? Was you one of the knitters? Do you like us being here? What happened over here? Did the child die in the bedroom here? Did the child die in the bedroom? it Annie? Or is it Charlie? Or mummy or... Eh? Will the child come back through again? Well, I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Back again. But there's a child talking. Did you say mummy? Did you say? I'll count to 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Daniel. Do you have Daniel there? It says Daniel on there. You here, Daniel?
This is where I got before.
Yeah,
Oh, it's getting cold.
Yeah. This is where I thought it was strange. I said this was strange in here. Well, this is like proper. It's quite comfy in this room, isn't it? Right, does anyone here want to speak with us? I assume this is for the child's bedroom. Come and speak to us if you can. So the little boy called, I've just got the name Peter. Is there a Peter here? Go on, the child here.
Can you move something in the bedroom?
Nice bedroom. Very comfortable. No, just the name Peter. It might have just sprang in from nowhere, but.
Do you like playing with your toys in here?
There is.
What's it saying?
I'll just explain something now. Okay, what I've just picked up. There's a child in here, and also there is a very old man come to visit the child when the parents are asleep. He's in here.
What, as in a ghost?
Yeah.
Not a.
It's a spirit.
Oh, see, not a.
He's the grandfather of this child. The children belong to the couple in there, and let's just say, for the want of a better word, Peter is the boy, and the girl. I've got a feeling that the Peter is the younger of the two, but not by much. But obviously, you know, year and a half or something, 2 years max, and got the name Molly. Her name's Molly. Slammed violently, and there's a woman in here, quite a large woman.
What happened? The door.
What?
What, the door was slammed?
Slammed. She's really angry, and she's crazy. This woman is, and she's kicking right off for some reason, and she's in here. Whose room was this, and what was it? All right, I'm connecting with something now. There's two women in here. One's got red hair, ginger hair, and they're sisters. and they're 25-year-olds, 26, something like that. And this is their room. They sleep here together. Could you just slam a door or make a noise for us, please? Or turn these rods fast.
Why would they just stop?
That's weird, that is, just stopping.
Say anything to us you like and leave a message.
That's good.
That's a good one, wasn't it? Say get out.
Say anything to us you like and leave a message.
Yeah. Sound proper.
Say anything to us you like and leave a message.
Okay, and I picked up a Samuel, who was the foreman or the master knitter.
Yeah, master hosier.
And I think you said that there was something about...
Yeah, we have Master Hosier that was here, which is Samuel Hurst.
Okay, yeah.
Whilst he was here, the frame shop was actually that side.
Okay.
But there may have been buildings and he'd been...
Yeah, yeah. Did we get on
Right,
that?
you mentioned a Cecil Parker,
Yeah.
which didn't ring any bells with either of us. When I looked into it, you said it was there was a small child that used to come in with his mother that was on the Griswolds. I've actually found him in 1901.
Okay.
He was 3 years old,
Yeah.
and his mother was a Griswold worker.
Okay.
She was single at that time, and a couple of years later, they married a Mr. Cox.
Okay.
First and second name, Cecil Parker. Blimey.
Yeah.
Done it against him.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it comes through, sometimes, the odd bits, don't. But generally, I just say it like it is.
You mentioned the little boy and the lady in the parlour.
Yeah.
As far as we were aware, up until you'd actually said something, we were only aware of 4 girls, weren't we? I've gone digging and found at least another 3 children.
Right.
That have died before they were a year old.
Okay. Yeah.
One of them is a little boy named Frederick.
Okay.
He was one of the twins.
I say, the woman who was sitting in the chair, is that the same woman, do you think? She was younger up there as opposed to the 70-year-old that when she died.
Yeah, possibly.
Was that the same woman? Is she the one that lost the children?
Yes.
Okay. Because that child came down to be with her when she died. I saw it. It was quite emotional. And he was only a little boy, but yes, I saw that, so that's interesting as well.
Apparently, the people that worked here, the men, wore bowler hats.
Did they?
It was like a bit of a uniform.
Okay.
So a hosier would have wore a bowler hat.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm not sure. There's different types of bowlers, isn't there? There's the very smart, sort of expensive, and there's a more casual one. But I'm not an expert on bowler hats.
I'm not, but he's definitely got one on all the time. He wears it all the time. Moving on to upstairs, I connected with 2 sisters in that back room as well. And I believe that there is 2 sisters that stayed there.
The last 2 occupants were 2 sisters that lived here until they died.
And they, I think you had a photograph of one after I mentioned it, didn't you? Somebody did.
Yes,
her,
but both of them have got hats on, so.
Okay, because one had auburn hair, and one had black hair.
Right.
And I see them playing in the bedroom, but they're in their 20s, early 20s. They're very happy in there, and that's how I saw them. Two young ladies in their 20s, very happy. And I say one had sort of auburny reddish hair, and the other one had dark hair. I did get the names at the time. Can't remember them now, but they'll be on the video because there's a lot of information, a lot of names in that. Okay, we're looking for the spirit of Amelia.
Okay, we're looking for the spirit of Amelia.
Try again. Amelia, could you come forward and give us... let me just try it again. What shall I ask her?
Did you die in here, Amelia?
Right. Amelia, did you die in here? It's funny, when you just asked that, she just looked at me and she said yes, and it was a cold November morning. Be interested to see.
She died in December.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah. Was it Edgar that found her?
The guy,
Yeah.
I don't know what it, I got the name on the last one,
Yeah.
but she just said it's a cold November morning, so it might be December, I might have heard it wrong, but it was a cold morning.
Amelia, did you die in here?
I did.
Amelia, did you die in here?
It sounds female-ish.
Yeah, it
But
does.
until you get it on there, we won't be able to.
We have a look at
sounds
the
like-
king then. Amelia, what was the king's name?
Amelia, what was the king's name?
Interesting.
Amelia, what was the king's name?
I think, I'm just going to guess because it's not going to
Yeah.
be on there. I think it says it was Edward.
Amelia, what was the king's name?
It was
Who was the king?
It was Edward.
It can't be. That does sound like it.
Amelia, what was the king's name?
No way, that does say it. That says
Yeah, because
that says
Edwardian was after Elizabethan.
that's unbelievable. That's it was that's 3 words.
Yeah.
Amelia, what was the king's name?
That is unbelievable.
It was Ed, and I don't think you could hear the last bit.
That is brilliant.